Oh, it is. It's very matchy.
Got the clap.
Got the clap. Okay. Are you hooked in to the Matrix?
I'm in. I'm jacked on.
That's not. No, don't. You can't say that.
That's not the same.
You can't. You cannot say that.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, here we are, man.
Yeah.
Episode
12.
number 12.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And have we thought of a title for this ridiculousness that we've decided to do for 3 months now, which is something?
Yeah, I got nothing. I put no thought into this.
No. So what I had in mind was we'll recap the Outliers event from the weekend.
Boom. Perfect.
Check this out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, competitor.
Mm-hmm.
That's something.
Who was that for?
That was for me.
What?
Yeah.
You competed?
I did.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's news to me.
You might not know it by my results, but I did show up. So, okay, so here we go. So the last time, the intro thing was over to you for a little bit, and it got weird, it got awkward. Let's just call it what it is, it got awkward. We stared at each other for a little while.
Yeah.
So while we move into the intro, let's do it. Let's hit it.
Let's hit it. Hey, you beautiful people. This is Rick with Fit4Moto Academy podcast and my
Mom.
beautiful, beautiful co-host, Mitch Robinson.
Hey.
With all the muscles. How you doing, Mitch?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
I like how it was Fit4Moto this time, not Fit4Mom.
Yes. Yeah.
We got past that point.
It's not a mom fitness program.
Right on. This is episode 12, everybody, of the Fit4Moto podcast. We're going to debrief. I was going to say decap, but that's not the word.
We will not decapitate you for listening.
We're going to debrief the Redbull Outliers event and chat about a couple other things. So with that being said, let's roll the intro and let's get into it.
Let's go.
All right, dude. Here we are. EP12, 3 months in.
Yeah, buddy.
Wow. Hey?
Yeah.
How did we even have 3 months worth of things to talk about?
I don't know.
I guess that's why we started this whole thing in the first place, right? Was just our natural conversations that we always got talking about. We're like, dude, why don't we just record this?
Totally the ramblings of a madman.
Yeah, 100% it is. Yeah. And here we are. Mm-hmm. I think this is going to be a really cool episode, and I'll try not to ramble on. Dare I say that I actually think it might be somewhat of a longer episode, honestly, because I just have so much to talk about from the Outliers.
Dude, and ramble away. That's why I'm here. I want to hear all about the weekend.
Dude, what an amazing event. Never been a part of anything like that before. Mm-hmm. So I do want to start off, if it's okay, I want to start off just by thanking a bunch of people that kind of were a part of everything this weekend, just so that it doesn't get missed, later on in the episode.
For sure. Yep.
First and foremost, I want to thank everyone that came over to say hi and to meet me and cheer me on. I could hear the cheers as I was going around the Endurocross track on day one. That meant a lot to me. Like literally, I could hear people cheering. It was really, really cool. And then, people coming up to say hi and to meet me and saying that they loved the podcast, mm-hmm. and that was a common theme across both days, which was really cool. So a huge thank you to everyone who took the time to actually come and say hi and meet me and stuff. I really, really appreciate that. And man, I love it. Keep it coming.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks everybody. Mitch thrives off that. He off air, he talks about that quite a bit and how much he appreciates it.
Yeah, and I really do. So, and then next, thank you to Rad 2.0. So they're the ones that actually organized the event for Red Bull. Mm-hmm. And man, hats off to them for a ridiculously cool event. Now, day one on the Endurocross, it maybe didn't work out the way they had in mind because we got torrential downpour in downtown Calgary, which ended up, if you didn't know, canceled the event for safety reasons. And rightfully so, dude. Like, it was 100% the right call. So maybe it didn't work out the way that they want. But honestly, in my mind, like, everyone got to do the Endurocross track. We all got to do a heat. And, we didn't get to see the top guys go at it in their final heat. But I just feel like it just kind of added to the flavor of the whole thing, you know, like if it's like this ridiculous event downtown Calgary, the Olympic Plaza. And of course we get torrential downpours, right? Like, I don't know, to me, it's just like it ups the ante of the event, you know?
Definitely.
It kind of has a legacy that way, you know? Yeah, it'd have been cool to see some of the top guys race and stuff too, but yeah, I don't know. For me, that's the silver lining, I guess. Anyway, and then day 2 went off without a hitch. It was completely amazing. So a huge thank you to Rad 2.0 for putting that event on and for having iRide be a part of it. That is really, really cool. So I really appreciate them for doing that. Thank you to my buddy Jeremy that's been going out riding with me and showing me some hills and stuff to practice on. I'd have been lost out in the woods. So Jeremy, I know you're a watcher. He's watching.
He's lurking somewhere.
So huge thank you to you, Jeremy, for all of that as well. Thank you to Tyler Wendland.
I don't know.
I still don't know how to pronounce
Common
it
spelling.
properly. I'm sorry, Tyler. Thanks for giving me some tips and stuff leading up to the Outliers and spending some time training with me. I appreciate it, buddy. And then Stephen Forty. He had some really nice, positive, encouraging things to say, and a super experienced rider, super nice, super humble. I don't know if he watches this or listens to it or anything, but in any case, really nice guy. So huge thank you to him. So I'll just get those out of the way. I just wanted to say thank you to a bunch of people that helped make that weekend just completely amazing.
Yeah, what a cool weekend. And I was blown away by the professionalism, just how smoothly everything went. It was all on time. It was organized. It was just awesome. What a cool event. Yeah.
And then, looking back last year when I was at the event just with the camera, and I said, I've never seen an event like this. This is really, really cool. Being back again this year just on the bike, I was 100% on the money. It is that cool. Even as a rider, it's that cool.
Oh, it's probably even cooler when you're on the bike.
It's scarier on the bike. It's scarier. Like, I remember sitting on the starting line and I'm going, oh God. Like,
I kind
of want to be one of the people watching because this is going to get weird. Right. And so I got a ton of content, a ton of video. I got, there's so much that I'm going to have to kind of go through over the coming weeks. So I'm going to try and get the videos out when I can, get them edited and all that kind of stuff and uploaded to the tube. But yeah, man, completely amazing. Like it's humbling. It's a humbling experience for sure. And it also is, you see those guys like, when you're standing at the bottom of some of these hills, and I'm like, there's literally no way a human being can get up this on a dirt bike, and they go up it like it's nothing. Like it's crazy. They don't even have to take 2 tries at it, dude. They just zip right up it.
Dude, I know. Like, we pulled up, I saw that giant hill, and there were orange arrows pointing up, and I asked you, I'm like, why are there arrows on that? Oh, we're going up that. I'm like, no, you're not. You can't make it up that.
And that was for the amateurs to go up.
Yeah.
That's not even the pros.
Dude, that was a starting line for the pros.
Yeah. That's a nothing hill in that event. Like if I was just putzing around and I came across a hill like that, there's no way I would look at that and be like, oh, I'm going up this.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's not rideable. Dude, just it gives you an appreciation for the skill level of some of these guys for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So we might as well just jump into some of the debrief stuff too. Going into it, I did I shouldn't say a lot of, I did what I could for training, So I rode in some trees and I did some hills and all that kind of stuff. I did some enduro cross just in Calgary there. And
where'd you do that in Calgary?
At the Wild Rose MX facility, yeah. Gotcha. So they have and again, it's a Rad 2.0 thing. So again, shout out to them for a ridiculous training place to go with their enduro cross thing.
Oh, nice. Did they have enough for you to learn on?
Oh yeah, like there's stuff there that I didn't even try and touch yet because I just have no idea how to attack it. Like a 6-foot wall, I don't know how to get up that yet. Yeah. So things like that.
Is it meant for all skill levels? Is there stuff that I could do?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So there is like I don't know what they call it, a beginner loop, I guess, like or kids loop. I don't know what it is, but it's like a small little loop that, it's not overly challenging, and then you can move on to that and kind of progress.
Nice. So some twigs and pebbles for me to ride over.
Dude, that's what I started on. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, and I honestly just kind of started. I did that, and then I'd piece in other parts and do whatever. And so the endurocross thing. Again, obviously the training helped for day one, but I mean, I don't know how you even train for that. Like there was guys struggling to get around. Again, other than the top dudes, I watched pros struggle to get around this endurocross track.
So now looking back on it, is it possible to train for an event like that without actually doing the event? Like,
I think it is, but I think so 100% I plan on doing it next year, and I can't wait to do it. I'm super excited about it already. But I think one of the things that when it comes to training for something like that, I think you have to, at least for me personally, I will attack it in a different way. So
gotcha.
I will work on very specific things. So for example, how do I get up a 4-foot ledge that has nothing in front of it, right? How do I... balance beams. That's something I needed to work on, was balance beams. I'm not great on a skinny beam riding a dirt bike. Dude, in moto, you never do that, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So that's something I need to work on. So for me, I can get over big logs and stuff. That part I'm fine with. But for me, there's a couple of very specific things I want to work on. So I'll go and attack those, or at least add them into my loop that I'm doing on the endurocross track.
Gotcha. So without knowing exactly what's going to be in there, because I'm sure it's a surprise every year, is it possible to train in a way that you're going to be comfortable, or do they set up the track that you're supposed to be uncomfortable?
I think they set it up so that it's supposed to be difficult, right? But it's also supposed to be rideable. So they're not going to make anything too insane. And they didn't, to be fair, they didn't. It was an amazing track. It really was.
Gotcha. So
hats off to everyone who put that thing together. All the volunteers and everything, dude. Like it was a well-oiled machine. I guess just experience hitting a lot of that stuff, like you watch some of the guys who are really good at endurocross hit it and they had no trouble on any of it. The really, really good dudes.
Yeah.
And probably a part of that is just experience, right? So I don't know. I feel like, I'll add in some different areas of training and try and keep moving forward on that side of things. Yeah.
So with all the training that you did in preparation for the event, did you feel like it was enough, not enough? Were you just way out to lunch on certain areas?
I would say it's not enough, but I'll say that with the caveat of saying it's not because I thought, oh, okay, I've trained enough for this. There's just not enough time in a day for me to train all things, right? So because I coach in motocross, and I've got businesses to run and all these things, so I try and train some of it when I get a chance to. So fast forward a year from now and I've got another year of that stuff under my belt. It's going to be night and day different, right? And now I have that under my belt, that event too. So I have an idea of what to expect. I know where I'm weak and I know where I'm comfortable going over stuff. And so, it'll be a lot different next year for sure. So yeah, I would say no, I didn't train enough, but it's not because I wasn't trying. It's just because dude, I jumped into an event like that having never even hit a log, right? Remember right from the start, never hit a single log. Yeah. So that's a far reaching goal that I set for myself, and I'm super happy that I did it. But if fast forward a year, I think it'll be better.
Nice.
Yeah. And then day 2 on the hill side of things, man, there's no way to prepare for that other than to literally be in that area and look at stupid things and go, I'm going to try and climb that. Like nowhere out in the trees or anything that I went can prepare you for that. Nothing. Now, you can do some single track stuff. You can do some hills and whatever and learn some techniques. It's not that, the training means nothing. And I'm glad I did what I did. But at the same time, again, next year, I'm going to be going to a location that's very similar to that. And I'm going to do exactly those things and get really used to it.
Oh, for sure. You have to ride that in order to get better at that. Because just going out in the woods with you, a couple weeks ago, seeing the hills and stuff, they look nothing like that. That was Badlands, Hoodoos, just totally different.
Yeah, the dirt is different. the shape of the dirt is different, right? Like the Badlands, like the way that the rain funnels off of them, it gets kind of the fingers going down, you know?
Yeah.
Like going up a hill with roots, that's not the same. Totally. You know, and it's got topsoil and whatever it is that you're digging through on the way up a treed hill. That is not the same thing as going up a hoodoo.
Oh, for sure. Was there much for rocks in that?
Yeah, there was in some sections. Okay. Actually, they come to think of it, there was quite a bit of rocks in it.
There were? Okay.
Yeah, a lot of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, I don't know, some really small pebbly rocks, but then and then it kind of gets ground down even finer. But then as people kept climbing the hills too, it dug it deeper and deeper and deeper, right? And so the lines would disappear, and then someone else would try and make a different line. Like it,
gotcha.
The dirt wears away quickly, if that makes sense. And so, I mean, man, I learned so much doing this event that I'm going to take into next year. And one of the things that I learned is don't wait for other people. Like, so the first outlier that we showed up to, the first, obstacle, I guess, if you want to call that, you have to go up, which, by the way, getting to the first outlier was challenging. Not overly difficult, but still, like, you're going down. There was one hill I went down, like when I came over the crest, I'm like, oh shit. Like, pucker your bum hole, because you're coming in hot, you know, like legit, dude, going down. And I'm like, oh my God, this race just started and I had to go down this hill. And so on that too, you know, some of the downhills that I did out in the trees definitely helped.
So that's something I didn't think about until just now. Like the climbs looked gnarly. Like those looked just like it shouldn't be possible. But you go up, you have to come back down.
Yeah, what goes up must come down.
Yeah, so I imagine going down. It's crazy,
dude. It's scarier. Because here's the thing: if you're trying to climb something, you can always abort, right? You can just lay the bike on its side, and you're going to slide down in your bum if it's steep enough or whatever.
Yeah.
There's really not that big of consequences when you're trying to climb something. Really, the bike might get a little banged up if it slides down or whatever, but that's really about it. But if you come down some of these hills, dude, and you're going fast enough, you can get seriously hurt. Like you will, if you go endo down the hill, right, and you go over the bars, dude, you're gonna get hurt. And these things are not like a 45-degree slope, dude. Like I'm talking almost vertical. And there's some sections you are going down are vertical.
So if it was anything like some of the hills that I saw, they've got some big vertical shelves. And it was crazy to see like a lineup of going back to not waiting. There would be a handful of guys, like 4, 5, 6 guys waiting for the main line, and you'd see somebody come around and just hit some vertical shelf, go in front of everybody else, pick a completely different line, and boom, you just gained 5 spots. Yeah,
and so just watching some of the more experienced guys too. You really pick up on a lot of skills that you're like, I see what I did wrong there, you know? So not waiting is one of them, you know. Dude, like I waited at the first, so the whole event for my class was 2 hours.
Okay.
Once the 2 hour mark hit, the race was over. No matter where you were, they literally came and told you, you're done, go down and ride out. You're not even going to try this hill you're sitting on anymore.
Gotcha.
Because they had to keep the clock running, right? So they can't be waiting for us to try and make it up a hill for the next hour while the other guys are waiting to come around.
Yeah.
Right? So it totally makes sense. But so, you know, I just, man, the lack of experience really hurt me. But so I come into the first outlier after pooping my pants coming down the hill, and there was 50 riders sitting there waiting to try and climb this hill. And I looked up at the hill, and you'll be able to see it on my GoPro, and it's littered with guys like laying down on the hill. Their bikes are laid over. There's like, so you either have to ride over their bikes to get up the hill or wait for them to move.
Yeah.
So my mistake was, okay, well, I'm just going to wait for them to move. And as soon as they move, someone else would go. And I'm like, okay, I'll wait for my next turn. And as soon as they move, someone else would go. And then those 2 guys would crash. And then a different line would open up. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go. And then someone else would go. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait.
Way too polite.
Dude, like I bet you I waited at least 30 minutes at the first outlier out of my 2 hours.
No way.
Yeah. Like it was.
That's a quarter of your race.
Dude, it was brutal. It was brutal. I don't know. I was being way too Canadian about it, right? I'm just like, oh no, you go ahead. Oh no, you go ahead, please. You know, next year that's going to be different. Next year I'm going to roll up and I'm going to look for a line and I'm going. And But I think that there's two parts to that. One is the thing that I learned is don't wait, like we just talked about. But two, you have to be able to look at a line and have the confidence that you're going to make it up. Now, when I was sitting at the bottom of some of these hills, I was looking up going, how the hell am I going to get up this? Like, there's no way I'm going to get up that.
So was Logjam waiting for that one clean, easy line up the middle?
Yeah. They're waiting for the one line that they think they can actually make it up, right?
And that just happens to be the same line that the other 49 people think.
Bingo, gotcha. Right. Because one guy will make it up, and then literally you'll hear guys go, that's the line. That's the line. And then they're all like inching forward trying to go for this line, right? And then meanwhile, someone who's really good will come by, and they'll smoke the hill on some other line that hasn't even been done yet. And you're like, I don't need to take that line. I can go over there.
Gotcha.
So but they have the confidence and the skill set, but they have the confidence to look at that and go, I can make it up that.
Well, maybe some experience too. Like if that's your first time riding there, you're not going to be able to identify those lines. But if you've been riding places like that for quite a while, it'd be like, well, yeah, that middle one's the easiest, but that one also work.
Yeah, absolutely. And so being able to read the terrain quickly, that's a skill set in and of itself that I learned. And then looking at it and going, not waiting, going. Now you have to be aggressive about it. You're going to cut people off, right? But you got to go. You have to go, man. So next year's going to be a lot different, dude. The second I come around, I'm going. So here's the other thing. Everything kind of played back on itself over the course of the weekend. So the initial event, the Endurocross, the practice was timed. The practice was 5 minutes.
Okay.
And in that 5 minutes, you had to do a hot lap. Okay. So never been on an Endurocross track, a proper track in my life.
Yeah.
Then we get told, your first lap out, you have to go fast because it's being timed. And depending on how quick your lap is, that will determine where you start in your heat races.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, where you start in your heat races makes an entire world of difference because you'll see on the GoPro, there's these giant pileups. And if you start in the back like I did, so my practice thing, I spent the lap just going, oh, that's how you get over a tire like this. Oh, that's how you go up a waterfall like this. Like I'd never hit any of it before. Yeah. So I was using my 5 minutes to figure out how to get up something.
Gotcha. Not trying to
go fast. Yep. Yeah. So I started at the back in the heat race.
And how many people were in your race?
I think there's, I want to say 14 per heat.
Okay.
So I was starting at the back. Now I'm last off the line, right? Now, the very first obstacle, there's a big pileup. Now, the guys who, they take the top 6, I think it was, from the heat, those dudes are long gone. And I'm standing behind this giant pileup going, I can't get around because there's only room for 4 bikes and they're all in a pileup.
Yeah.
So now you have to wait, right? So your heat's over. Good luck. So it all starts, or at least in this event, it all started literally in the practice. You have to come out swinging, right? Now, gotcha. I did know that, but I'm trying to play it safe. So I'm going to go out and practice, and I'm not just going to go face first into some wall to try and get a better spot, right? But it kind of shows the importance of, like, it all plays on itself.
Totally. Like, that's great if you go fast, but if you're trying to figure it out and you're just giving her nuts and wreck yourself, well, what good is that? Because you're not racing anymore.
Totally. And that's maybe where more practice and more experience comes into play, is that I can look at an obstacle, like the ones that we went over, dude. Now I have a memory bank of those going, oh, that I can go fast over that. That's not a problem, right? I can go fast over that log. Not a problem.
And that's perfect because they'll just change it next year.
Yeah, exactly. They'll come up with something else. Yeah. But then in your heat race, depending on where you finish in your heat race, that determines where you start on Sunday. Now, if you start in the back, like I did on Sunday, because I started in the back of the heat race because I went slower in practice. Now, when you get to the first outlier, there's 50 people waiting to go, and you roll up.
Jeez.
And so you have to sit there and wait. So it's so interesting now looking at it afterwards to go, I see what I did wrong. This and here, and here. I definitely I need to get better skills. That goes without saying, but a big part of it for me was the waiting. That's what killed me for sure. Because I made it up all of the outliers on my first try. I made it up all the hills on my first go. I made it around. it was the bottlenecks that killed me and waiting for my turn.
Do you have GoPro to verify that?
100%. Yeah, I do. I'm not going to say it was clean getting up my first try, but dude, up is up.
Yes,
right?
Yes, it is.
Up is up.
A wise man once said, up is up.
Totally, yeah. So I made it up there, regardless of how ugly it was, I made it up the first try. So
Did your bike ever make it up without you?
It did. It did indeed.
Nice.
Yeah. So the second outlier, again, huge bottleneck. I waited forever for people to go. Mm-hmm. And then I finally just said, dude, I got to go. I have to at least try this. Right. So I get like 3/4 the way up, or maybe a little more than that. And, hadn't planned on this. But I sent the bike by itself to the top, and, yeah, man. And you'll have to see the YouTube video to figure out how all that played out. But it got weird for a bit, for sure. It got weird. But hey, up is up.
Yep.
So, yeah, man, dude, I learned so much for next year. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited to try it again. Like, honestly, if I could do it all again tomorrow, I would sign up for it, mm-hmm. and go out and race it again tomorrow. Just with what I've learned already, I feel like, okay, dude, I can do a lot better than this now, mm-hmm. I mean, not that the results ever really mattered to me that much in the first place. I mean, right from day one, this was not about winning my vet class. You know what I mean? Like,
it's stepping out of your comfort zone, trying something completely different that you've never done before.
Totally. Yeah. And I've used this analogy before. To me, it's the equivalent of, even in the vet class, dude, there's a bunch of ex-pros in there, like mm-hmm. guys that are fast on dirt bikes, right? In the hard enduro world. Mm-hmm. Sweet. So the equivalent of me doing that enduro cross or this hard enduro, for that matter, would be, I'll tell you what, bring one of these guys to the track. I'm going to take them on the pro track at Wild Rose, which has some big gnarly jumps on it, that if you get it wrong, it's going to go bad for you. And I'm going to say the first lap that we go around is timed.
You have to go as fast as you can.
You have to go as fast as you can, and you have to do every jump around the first lap. You need to hit every jump there is, the 120-footer, everything. And if you don't, you have to stop, turn around, get back on the track, and do it again. You cannot finish the lap without finishing this obstacle. Yep. Think of what those other, pro riders would do in that circumstance, like switch the roles. Yeah. That's gnarly, dude. Oh, yeah. That's gnarly, right? So, and it's not that they necessarily don't have the skill to get over that obstacle, mm-hmm. but to do it without sight unseen, like just let's go rip this thing, that takes some balls, right? Oh, definitely. And that takes a certain skill level for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, it was an eye-opening, it was a humbling experience. Not that I really needed any more humbling in the world. Like, I know that my skills are not that great in hard enduro. Mm-hmm. But like I said, it was never about placing the thing. It was just about giving it a try. Yeah.
And it's a nice way to gauge where you're at, all your training, your riding, and just see where your skill level is and where you can improve. Yeah,
totally. Yeah. So those are some lessons that I learned for sure. Couple things that really kind of came to mind for me was, sorry, I'm just I'm looking at my notes here. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Yep. So in this whole experience, like I said, I can't wait to do it again next year. But so Cindy, my wife, she was chatting with somebody, and the person said, "Oh, what's Mitch doing today?" She goes, "Actually, he's out doing this Outliers event." And a comment was made that was to the effect of, "Gee, shouldn't you tell him to dial it back?" And I've just been blown away by that, dude. Like, to me, the whole idea of dialing it back goes completely against what I think the point of life is. Mm-hmm. To me, time's ticking. If let's say you're 40 years old, mm-hmm. hopefully, you have 80 years in you, which means that your life is half over.
Yeah, but you don't know.
Exactly.
You could have tomorrow. Tomorrow's your last day. Today could be your last day.
Totally.
So why would you want to dial it back?
Hey, right?
Why not do all the cool, awesome
do
things?
everything you can. And that's why I say who cares how you place or whatever, dude? It doesn't matter. Do you think anyone really is going to look back at Redbull Outliers 2022 and be like, oh, so-and-so got 10th in the amateur class? No one cares. I hate to break it to you. Nobody cares.
No, after this weekend, nobody cares.
Right? No one cares, dude.
Yep.
It's all about the experience. And you know, there was one of the outliers where myself and another guy, we were stuck on one of the hills, and I'm like, dude, I'll help you if you help me. He's like, sweet, let's do it. So we pulled his bike up and got him clear of the obstacle.
Yep.
And then we grabbed mine and we pulled my bike up.
Oh man,
and
that's
awesome. And then we high-fived and we continued on. And I really like that, because that is a huge contrast to motocross, right? A huge contrast. You never stop on the track for people like that in motocross, dude. It's everyone for themselves. I will run you over if I need to.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure there's part of hard enduro that are like that, but there's a lot of helping each other too, and I think that's pretty cool. I think that's somewhat unique.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Yeah. And there's a quote that I thought of through the kind of this whole weekend, and it's really kind of stuck with me, and I think a lot of people might be able to relate to it. Have you ever heard of the quote, like the man in the arena? No, you've never heard that before?
No, let's hear.
Okay, so let me bring it up here. For me, it's super impactful, and I think it really does capture the essence of me doing this Outliers thing. So here it goes. So it's a quote from Theodore Roosevelt, by the way.
Okay.
It's called The Man in the Arena. It says, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, and who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be among those cold and timid souls who never know victory nor defeat."
Dude, that's awesome.
Isn't that wicked?
Like that hits home. Like I have way more respect for someone who finishes last place, didn't finish, whatever, in the event, than the people who are like, man, I'm just going to sit on the sidelines and
100%. I'm going to sit on the sideline and judge how they crased over this log, or
you should be going faster. Why didn't he take that line? Like,
right?
Yeah, one of those.
You know, I have a ton of respect for everyone who signed up for this event. There was one guy in particular that I saw really, really, really not prepared. Didn't have the machine for it. Just was a little outside of his wheelhouse for sure. But you know what, dude? High five to that guy for showing up and being like, I want to give this a try.
At least he tried.
Yep. And who gives a crap what anyone else thinks? Because guess what? That's the dude in the arena, right? And anyone else who's on the outside, it's kind of funny because it's kind of a metaphor, but at the same time, we actually were in an arena. We were in the Olympic Plaza, right? Yeah. Which was like an arena, the way it was circled around. But so I just have a ton of respect for people that even signed up, that had the guts to try that thing. Because, yeah, dude, that's not easy. There's Red Bull cameras. There's a lot of people that were there. Really cool event, you know? Man, it was...
Yeah, dude, that's not a weekend club race. Like that's big deal stuff.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So, you know, I have a ton of respect for everyone who even attempted that. And then, you know, on the second day, with all the hills and stuff, man, I just... Again, like sitting at the bottom, that is scary stuff, you know? I talked to one of the pros. So for the people who don't know, the pros had a different loop than everyone else. They had stuff that was much harder. And which is insane because like
how does it get much harder than that?
Yeah, totally, right? But then, you know, you see them go up what we had to go up, and it's nothing to them. So, I mean, some of the stuff that they had to do was outrageous. But in any case, I talked to one of the pros. He's a very well-known pro. He's extremely good on a motorcycle. And he said some of the obstacles were scary. He goes, dude, it was scary.
Really?
Yeah. So there's something to be said, man, for about lining up and going, we're going to give this a go, and doing it regardless of the fear, and doing it regardless of, of anything else that you might think about kind of pulling out of it.
Yeah. And that's kind of surprising to me, because I look at those pros, the way that they ride, how fast they ride. I wouldn't think anything would scare them. I think they just have those files in their brain and be like, yeah, I can handle it this way, that way.
I need to lean left. I need to lean right, whatever. Right. But yeah, and it's actually kind of cool to know that too, right? Like even these guys that are uber talented on a motorcycle,
they're still human.
They're still human. They still get a little freaked out, right? And I guess I can kind of relate to that in the moto world. Like the first time I hit a big jump, I'm looking at it going, oh boy, right? I mean, I suppose when you have more confidence in your skills, it lowers that stress quite a bit, because you feel like you're going to know how to ride it out, if you don't make it or whatever. But man, like some of those hills, dude, it's crazy. Like every downhill I came to, before, because it just drops off, right? Like you just see the dirt just stops and drops, and you're like, I don't know what's on the other side of that yet. So you like creep up to it, or at least I do, right? Because I'm not going to come screaming up to that thing and then come in with a full head of steam and go flying off something.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'll creep up to it and kind of look over the ledge and be like, oh, okay. And every single one of those I came up to, I was like, oh shit. Because some of the downhills were crazy. And then you have to stop within a couple feet at the bottom, or you're going to go into a snake pit, or you're going to go off a ledge where if you go off there, your bike's done.
Oh, geez.
Like,
did you ever come up to one of those ledges and just be like, I'll just hop off and let the bike do its own thing and just kind of push it off?
I wanted to sometimes. Like, dude, there was some stuff where like, I got super nervous because you'd be riding on an angled ledge, right? And so you don't have the flat part of the tire riding. You're just riding on the edge knobbies. And if you slip down, your bike is going into a hole that you can't see the bottom of. And I'm not exaggerating. You literally can't see the bottom of these holes. So your bike is getting swallowed. Maybe you make it down with it. Maybe you I don't know. Maybe you cling on to a rock at the top. I don't know what you're going to do, but it's a very, very, very real possibility that you're going to slip into that. And it's like, so you see this coming up, you're like, oh shit. So you're like, zzz, and you try and zip by it, before the bike can fall into the hole.
Yeah.
But the problem is now that you've went too fast, and now the next obstacle, you're all screwed up. So you got to reposition the bike, and like, oh man, it's a unique thing. Like there was one ledge I came up, and it was just a wall in front of me. Like I was climbing a hill. There was just the top of the hill. No idea what's at the top. So one of the things I learned is don't come flying off the top, because you literally might have a foot to stop at the top and you need to turn right.
Gotcha. Or
you might be going down a ledge you are not prepared to go down.
Not going to recover from.
Yeah, totally. So I came up, I seen the top of the hill, and I'm like, flying, and I'm like, oh yeah, no problem. I'm going to make this one, right? So I buzzed up to the top, land, and literally a foot in front of my front tire was a cliff. And I'm like, holy like, and then I had to turn right, and there was another giant hill to go up, and I'm like, okay. So I looked back, and behind me there was like, if you can picture a ledge where it was maybe like 3 feet wide, and there was probably 10 feet of room. Now I'm like, I need this 10 feet of room to get up this next hill clean, right? And I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't, but I did. So I'm pushing my bike back these 10 feet on this 3 foot, or at least what felt like 3 feet. And I was like, okay. Don't fall off the side. Don't fall off that side. Don't fall off this side.
Are you standing on your bike, tiptoeing backwards, or are you off your bike?
I was off my bike walking back, but then I'm like, so then I throw my leg back over the bike. And because I'm short, sometimes when I throw my leg over, I fall over the other side, right? No. So I'm like, dude, I was so nervous. And I got on it. I'm like, dude, just go.
Yeah.
And, put the hammer down and climb the next hill. But so like, not only do you need the skill to get up the hills, but there's all these like other challenges that you just don't see coming, And then there'll be like a goat trail that you're going down. And on one part, on the, let's say the left-hand side of the goat trail, there's a snake pit. and it's a giant hole that you can't see the bottom of. And I know that there's snakes in them because someone literally told me, dude, there's a rattlesnake in there.
No way.
Yeah. So there legit is rattlesnakes out there. And I just assume they're in every single hole.
So, of course. Right? Yeah.
So, on the left-hand side, there's a snake pit. And on the right-hand side is a cliff. And you're on a goat trail that's about a tire wide. And it's on an angle. Of course it is. It's not flat. It's on an angle.
Of course.
So, dude, like riding, I'm like, okay, don't go left, don't go right. Don't go left, don't go right. And I literally kept repeating in my head, where you look, you go. Where you look, you go. And so I'm like, I'm trying to focus way far ahead. And I'm like, please don't look down. Please don't look down.
How do you not look at the friggin' hole full of snakes?
Right? Yeah. The snake pit, man. Yeah. Like I picture like at the bottom of these things, I picture like 100 snakes all curled into a ball, right? Yeah. So it's like, so if you fall into that, it's certain death, I'm sure.
Did you have your anti-venom in your fanny pack?
No, apparently the closest anti-venom was in Brooks.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. With all those snakes.
Which I don't know if I believe that. I feel like they would have to have some on site. They did have the helicopter to medevac people out. So maybe they didn't. Maybe they were just planning on, we'll just take them in the helicopter. Yep. But, yeah, so like I say, you're riding. It's just the hills are one challenge, and then there's that. And man, you watch some of the pros and stuff. Like, dude, there's some of the sections that I would ride over where I'm kind of tiptoeing through some of the areas, and they come in, dude, and they just fly down these like. They have so much confidence in their skill set that they're like, of course I'm not going left and I'm not going right.
I'm not going to go in the snake pit.
Yeah, like, of course I'm not. And they're third gear just flying, right? Whereas I'm like, literally, the wheels are hardly turning as I go by the snake pit, On
a side note, that sucked the venom out of you.
Thank you.
That's a thing, right? or do you pee on it?
No, I think that's jellyfish.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's good to know you'd pee on me.
Totally. I will pee on you and then suck it out. No, other way around.
Yeah. So lots of unique challenges to that event.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I am so excited to see some GoPro. That'll be cool to watch.
Yeah. My GoPro did die partway through it. I mean, it was 2 hours. My battery's not going to last that long. So I tried to turn it off when I had my long bottleneck waiting periods, and then I tried to turn it on when I was going to try and do the hill.
Did you have snacks when you were waiting?
No. Well, just my hydro fuel in my Camelback. Yeah.
Gotcha. But you didn't pull a snack out, or?
No, I wasn't really hungry. Like, I don't get hungry on race days. I find it hard to eat.
Gotcha.
I'm just my mind. It's not that I'm super nervous. Just my mind gets super preoccupied, and it's like I'm not worried about food right now. I'm worried about what's to come.
Gotcha.
So I checked my heart rate both at the Enduro Cross as I was sitting there underneath the Red Bull thing, ready to launch off the starting blocks, and then both again at the Outlier in Steveville there, Steveville. I don't know what it's called, and my heart rate was 81 beats per minute both times.
Oh, really?
So like, other than sleeping, it's near a normal resting pace while you're up and active, right?
That's impressive.
So I don't get that nervous before the events. But honestly, that's another thing, is that I think I've learned to kind of control my nerves so I don't get too nervous, but I think I've dialed it back too much and I need to get more aggressive.
So you're sitting on the line about ready to take a nap?
Yeah, like legit, I was yawning a ton on both starting lines. I was yawning.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Nothing says you're ready for a race.
I know, right?
A yawn.
People are like punching themselves in the head and here I am yawning. I need to dial that up a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to get a little more aggressive that way. I've dialed it back too much, and that's where, waiting for everyone else to go and stuff, that's where that starts to hurt you for sure.
Right on. How was your fitness level? You said your resting rate before you started, but where'd your heart rate peak?
192 beats per minute was my peak heart rate.
That's pretty good. That's some work.
That's maxed out. Yeah. Now, here's the other thing. So where I lack skill, I just used brute force and literally pushed the bike up some of these crazy hills.
Yeah, you did.
So like I'd make it most of the way up and then I'm like, up is up. So I would just start pushing the bike up, right? And some of the people standing at the top of the hills, like the checkpoint people and stuff, they're laughing. And I look at them, I'm like, up is up. And I shrug and they're just killing themselves laughing, right? And because I didn't have the skill to clean it super awesome. And if I could have went back down and tried again, I probably would have cleaned it again, no problem, right? But
when you're that close to the top, I could see you just wanting to be like, nah, let's.
Yeah, I'm not doing that again. Especially if you launch your bike into the air, there's no way I'm riding back down again just to try that again, right? Yeah. So up is up, man. Just push it up. So that's where my heart rate spiked. Was physically moving a 250-pound motorcycle up a sheer cliff. Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah. So, but then, it comes back down as you're going down hills and stuff like that too, and try and control your breathing a little bit. And then I'd get to another hill. Like it seemed like on every section there was people waiting. Even if it wasn't one of the, the quote unquote outliers, it seemed like there was always a section where people were waiting, and I would funnel right in, and I'd just sit there and wait with them and be like, hey, what's up, guys? Yep. Like, dude, just go. Yeah, man. Like looking back, it's like, what are you doing, dude? Go. But yeah, it was a really, really cool experience.
Yep. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Did you get any bumps, bruises?
No.
How are you feeling?
So luckily, I walked away without a single scratch. And honestly, that is the absolute priority, right? Yep. No stupid trophy is worth me getting hurt, hurting myself in any way, shape, or form. I'm a firm believer in that when it comes to riding. Nothing is worth hurting yourself. So, within reason, you're always going to take risks. You're riding dirt bikes, right? It's inherently risky. But I do feel like, for me, it's always a priority to back it down until the point where you feel like you're safe. And so I felt like I did that. I felt like I stayed within my limits, and I rode well. And, so we ended up getting to the last bottleneck in the event. And it was, by the time I got to it, it was super slippery. And so people were just sliding down it like crazy. And a lot of good riders actually were struggling to make it up it. And I don't want to ruin the ending for people who are going to check out the videos, but we got to this point, and then the clock was ticking, So I learned so much for next year. Like I just can't wait to do it again.
How'd your bike hold up?
Honestly, a few dents and dings from the sending it up the hill, but other than that, it was good. So some broken plastic, which is not a big deal at all. And then I think I maybe bent the exhaust a little bit, and I could probably bend it back.
With those massive arms of yours?
Yeah, well, that's like I say, what I lack in skill, I will just use brute force. Yeah. Let's go. On the Endurocross on day one, there was like this, they called it a log pyramid thing. And dude, there was like, I bet you
at a 10 big square log.
Yep. Square.
Definitely not a triangle.
Yeah, that's right. I feel like out of the 10 riders that went over that, 8 of them crashed their brains out. Like it went over the bars because the drop on the other side was so steep that the bike didn't have time to level out, and they would just go crash. And you can actually, right now, there's YouTube put out highlights about it. You can go look. And actually, nice. I'm in it. I'm in the Red Bull thingy. But you'll see what I mean. Like, dude, and they don't even show it all because they would take up 2 hours of just showing people crashing. Yep. But so anyway, so my last lap I did on the Endurocross thing in my heat, I came up to this log wall thing. And earlier in the race, again, I don't want to spoil a bunch of stuff, but I messed up a really simple section. And again, I just learned a ton. Instead of me physically picking the bike up and setting it back down on what is essentially a balance beam, I should have done it differently. However, I'm like, I'll just pick the bike up and put it on there. It didn't work out that way. Looking back, I'm like, oh, you idiot. Why didn't you just do this? And anyway, so I burnt a ton of energy sitting in this one spot because, again, you're not allowed to skip the obstacle. You have to get back on it and ride it, right? And where I went off was a really annoying place to get back on.
Gotcha. So if you fall or bail on an obstacle, do you have to start from that exact spot, or can you take your bike, walk it all the way to the beginning, ride it to the beginning, and
you could circle back and start the obstacle again if you want. But generally people will just pick their bike up and go again.
Gotcha.
If you can.
Okay.
But if you fall off like I did, you can't, there's no place to circle back and get back on. You literally have to put the bike back on. So yeah. So anyway, so I burnt a ton of energy in this one spot. So I finished my heat, and then I get to this log pyramid thing, and
that's exactly like it sounds, just a pyramid of logs.
Yeah, and it was really quite high, and that's why
3 feet, 5 feet.
Man, maybe 4 feet.
Okay.
Like think of a one giant log that you have to try and get your dirt bike over.
Okay.
So like if the dirt bike is vertical up and down, it's probably at least to the bottom of your front tire.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's fairly big, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so I get to this thing and I'm like, okay, last obstacle, over is over. And I literally was thinking to myself, over is over, right? Yeah. So I pop up on it, and then the skid plate kind of catches a little bit, and I'm like, to hell with this. I'm not going to turn around and hit it again. So I literally just pushed the bike over the top of the log.
Nice.
And I just brute forced it over it.
Yeah. And
again, like super, lots of people were watching and stuff, and people were laughing, and they're like, beast mode. And I'm like, over is over, baby. Over is over. Yeah. So
funny, not at all surprising. So when I first met you, you're the one person who introduced me into dirt biking, and you had a truck and no ramp for your...
Now, ramps are for sissies.
Totally. So you would roll your bike up, get off, pick up the front tire, put it in the box, grab the back tire, lift it up, just brute force, put it up there, and just load your bike that way. So it does not surprise me that you're lifting bikes.
Again, where I lack skill, I'm just going to brute force it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but that uses a ton of energy too, right? So, man, I'm pumped to do some more of it. I got to switch back to moto now for a little bit and do some moto for the next bit, because we're going to head down to California. We're going to do some motocross races in Cali, which is exciting. And so I got to get back into the groove of pounding out motos and ruts and jumps and all that kind of stuff.
Who's doing some races?
You are.
What?
Yeah. We're going to do the Glen Helen 24 hour.
Sweet. Send it. Let's go.
Dude, let's go. We're going to throw some headlights on these things, and we're going to do this.
Oh, man. Okay.
That's going to be an epic fun time.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. So definitely stay tuned for the content on that. But other than that, yeah. So I gotta switch back to moto for a little bit. But then, I want to continue training the endurocross and the single track on the hills and stuff until the next Redbull Outliers, because I'll say this, I'm really truly proud of myself for doing what I did. I said I was going to do it, and I did it. And for that, I'm proud, and I am actually happy with how I rode, dude. Like, I was sitting at the bottom of some of these outliers going, holy shit, how am I going to get up this, right?
Yeah.
And not so much because I was scared I was going to get hurt. That was never part of the equation. Honestly, my fear was embarrassment, to go, you did all this, you came here, and you can't even make it up the stupid hill. Are you serious, right? That was my fear, if I'm being honest. It was not being able to make it up the obstacle. I really didn't want to let myself down, So, because like I said, if you can't make it up, you just lay the bike on its side, you'll be fine. The bike's going to get trotched up, but you're not going to break your leg or anything like that. It'll be fine. So I was scared of embarrassing myself. And so the fact that I made it up the outliers, I'm really proud of that, because I was sitting there going, oh shit, dude, like... Okay, I gotta go. And even when I did try them, granted, again, I made it first try, not pretty, but up is up.
Yeah.
And sitting at the bottom, I legitimately did not think I was gonna make it up those. I was scared sitting at the bottom of these hills, dude, and I was sitting there going, okay. And I literally just said, screw it, let's go, let's try, and I'm replaying it in my mind now, and I'd never hit anything like that before. Like, big hill, and at the top's vertical. Mm-hmm. And, I'm staring at it going, don't know how to do this one.
Yeah.
And
just learning on the fly.
Totally. And both thinking, I don't think I should be here. Mm-hmm. I'm a little scared right now. And I feel like I'm going to be super disappointed in myself if I can't make it around. Mm-hmm. And that's just, the pressure that I put on myself, but, having made it up them, I'm proud of that I pushed through that anyway. And I just said, instead of, tucking tail and saying, I'm not going to try, or, you know what, dude, I literally could have just sat there the whole time and let it time out. Mm-hmm. And use that as a crutch to say, oh, well, I didn't have the time. There was nowhere to go,
Yeah.
I could have leaned on that.
Maybe I'll do that next year.
Yeah, totally. Just show up to the first one. Timed out.
Don't even leave the start line. Like,
yeah.
Oh geez, there's so many people here.
Totally. So, you know, for that I'm proud. Like I remember even the start of the race last year, dude. I remember watching them go up the starting thing and looking at it going, holy, how are they getting up that? And, you know, I did it this year and now I know that it's not that hard. But compared to last year, standing there, having never touched it, and then that starting line thing now, that's a joke now, right? Like that's nothing. And being able to look at some of the other hills and saying, you know, yeah, you can make it up that, dude. I am proud of that. That being said, I also, anyone who knows me knows that I don't like not being good at something.
Yeah.
So I am fired up to come out swinging next year, and it's going to be a totally different rider that's out there next year. I can guarantee you that.
Oh, that's awesome. So were you able to enjoy it in the moment? Like you've got these big hills. How are you going to get up there? You finally do. Like, were you able to be stoked on yourself at that point, or was it I now need to focus on getting down and you didn't have time to?
Honestly, it was
enjoy it.
I'll say no. I couldn't enjoy it in the moment. Maybe I wish I could, but for me, honestly, every time I made it up something, it was a relief. I was then, okay, good. There was a thing called Stairway to Heaven, and it was this hill, and it had 3 ledges on the way up. So you'd be climbing, you'd hit a ledge, jump up onto the next ledge, go jump up onto the next ledge, etc., until you got to the top of this hill. And again, looking back, not that difficult. When you're staring at it, you're like, oh, damn, right? And so, you know, when I went up this stairway thing, when I got to the top, it was a right, like, oh, okay, I made it. But then literally what goes up must come down, and I'm looking at the arrows that are on the track pointing down, and I'm like, oh damn, where is this going? So there was never really a moment for me to enjoy it. It was a constant okay, hot damn, I made it. Oh God, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this? Snake pit, ledge. Oh, I'm gonna crash my brains out going down the hill. And then I get to the bottom and you see the arrows pointing up and you're like, oh son of a bitch, I gotta climb that now? So there was really never a moment for me to stop and enjoy it. Until, you know, and even honestly, it didn't even really hit me until like last night, this morning, when my mind kind of started processing everything, that I really thought like, man, that was amazing. That was really, really cool. They put on an amazing event. Yeah. So, but I don't know. I'm kind of like that whenever I attack something, you know, I get pretty focused in it, and I tend to kind of replay it and kind of dissect it afterwards. But in the moment, I'm like, I'm trying not to die by snake bites.
Yeah, for sure. I just think it's important for you and everybody who was in that, take the time to really reflect and like be stoked on yourself. You guys did something awesome.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
What a cool event. What a cool achievement that you guys and gals were able to do that and survive and not get killed by snakes.
Yeah, I agree totally that anyone who was a part of that, hats off, man. That was cool. And again, thank you to the volunteers and everyone that made that happen. And everyone who came up to say hi. Like it was an electric weekend, man. It was really cool. It was really cool.
And I didn't know that corn was the food of choice. While camping. Corn. Yep. I don't know.
I feel like popcorn, like people having popcorn on the fire.
No, like legit corn.
Like corn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if somebody sponsored, like some corn company dropped off a whole ton.
I didn't see a corn company. What makes you say corn?
Okay.
First of all, how do you know this?
I wish I didn't know this. All right. So I was at the iRide tent for a good chunk of the day. And there was hydro fuel on tap, which I was crushing, had to stay hydrated. So with that being said, I had to go relieve myself quite often.
Okay.
And porta potties are disgusting, and you get a nice view into people's diet each time you go in there to pee. You
were looking at poop?
Unfortunately, yeah. I'm not gonna go in there with my eyes closed and just.
You totally need to. Everyone knows that when you go into an outhouse, you never look down the hole. Everyone knows that.
How do you know where you're looking? Where you're peeing then? But dude, every single time, like there's a fresh pile with corn in it. Like it was disgusting. Oh man,
that is nasty.
And of course, like The two outhouses, there were two, and they must have had a ton of traffic because they were overflowing by the end of the day.
They were just blasted.
Everybody's walking by there to go to the start line. And
Yeah. That's the last pit stop on the way out there to the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
You got to drop the corn off.
Drop the corn off.
Dude, could you imagine? So the track, I guess, the course, it's set out in this massive area. Like, dude, you can't even see where the riders go. It's spread out so far, and it's really cool. But could you imagine being out there like a long ways out, and you're like, got some trouble bubbles. Corn's coming back on me. Like, dude, so what, are you going to poop into a snake pit?
Totally.
Imagine that, hovering your butt across one of them pits, thinking a viper's going to come up and tag you. You're pooping on the snakes. That's what I think of your hole.
They don't have anti-venom for this.
You're going to get pink eye snake. Oh, man, that went south.
Yeah.
That's too funny. Yeah. Wow. That's a good insight.
Yeah.
Can snakes get pink eye?
I don't know.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Well, that is 12, episode 12.
Episode 12. All about Redbull Outliers, brought to you by Corn.
Corn, the official sponsor. Cream corn.
Why don't people chew their corn?
Well, so I don't know. So corn has like, I don't know, dude, why are we talking about this? But corn has like the outer layer on it that your body can't digest, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't chew it, it comes out looking like corn.
So again, why don't you chew your corn?
It's a very good question. Maybe they had too much food in their mouth.
Okay.
You know, maybe like, I don't know, half the mouth is corn, half of it's a hot dog. I don't know, man. Like,
oh, a corn hot dog?
Yeah, I know. Come to think of it, that's not something you put on a hot dog. No.
My go-to is corn when I have a hot dog. You just pour it on.
Just put it on there. A little cream corn on that. Here's a question. Have you ever put chips on like a hot dog or hamburger?
Oh yeah, love it.
It actually is really good, isn't it?
Good,
like Doritos or something on a burger, dude?
Yes.
Shut the front door, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember kicking it old school when I was a kid. My dad would throw hot dogs in craft dinner. Money.
Oh, dude, good. that's an OG recipe though. I think everyone's probably had that.
I would hope so.
Now, to be honest, dude, I have a thing with craft dinner. Like, I don't eat it all the time because it's quite high in calories. But I love craft dinner. Like, dude,
it's so
a box. Good. I can knock a box back with a little ketchup on it. You know what I mean? Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. You know how I like ketchup.
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do.
Ketchup on everything makes everything better.
Yeah,
steak,
I love
burgers, hot dogs.
I love cooking you a perfect ribeye.
Yep.
And seeing you just burn it and then smother it in ketchup.
Look, the best way to enjoy a steak, and I'm not even kidding. The best way to enjoy a steak, okay? Fire up the grill. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Put a little seasoning on that son of a bitch, like a little bit of salt and spices and whatnots, right? Okay. Turn it to high. Okay. Now, not for a brief period. Put that thing on until it's just a little bit charred on the outside.
So we're
now,
talking
people
like
think
20 minutes.
Yeah. Like, I want it a little bit burnt on the outside. I don't want it, burnt through and through, but it needs a little burnt on the outside, okay? I want that thing well done. I want no red whatsoever in that steak. And I'm not even kidding. I don't I don't like red in my steak. Now, you take it back inside, right? It's cooked like a non-savage. You've cooked your meat, right? And the best thing to do then,
put it in the microwave.
Well, no, it's cooked, so you're good.
Oh, okay.
But then you pull out the Heinz, okay? Pull out the Heinz, put a little dab on the side of your plate. Now cut that thing up and dip her in some ketchup real quick.
And this is a $30 steak we're talking about. Yep.
Yeah. Well, you got to make it taste better, dude.
Yeah, because it just naturally tastes horrible.
Dude, I'll never forget. We went to this like super high-end steakhouse. So they come to they bring you all the various cuts of steak on a cutting board, right? And I don't know what all the names of them are. And dude, I'm more of like a burger and fries guy. I'm not a fancy food dinner thing. That is not me. I will go out for Chinese food, burger, whatever.
Yes.
I'm not a fine establishment person. I'm just not. I just never have been. I wasn't exposed to it as a kid. I never grew up with it, so it's not my thing. But anyway, So we go to this fancy thing. It was for someone's birthday. And I'm like, oh God, I don't want to go there. Right. But fair enough. And like the type of place where, you know, no matter what you order, it's $60 a plate for anything. Right. And so the guy comes out with this cutting board with these super fancy looking steaks with certain amount of marbling, et cetera, et cetera. And he starts talking to us about the different cuts. And this one is flavorful here, and starts going through it, right? I'm like, you got ketchup? Dip them in? And dude, he legit gave me the dirtiest look, like, you filthy animal, get out of here, right?
I'm surprised he didn't kick you out.
Dude, so I ended up ordering chicken. Because I'm like, I can't appreciate the flavor of that steak. I'm not paying that much money for it, so forget it.
So did you do medium rare chicken?
No, dude, burn it. Like, I don't like raw meat. It's gross, dude. You're telling me you eat a burger and it's pink hamburger, you like that?
Oh, no, steak, yeah, but not a burger.
So what's the difference, dude? It's raw meat. It's disgusting. I'm going to go out into the field. I'm going to shoot a rabbit, okay? I'm going to pull out a little slab of steak from this rabbit, and I'm just going to put a lighter under it for a couple seconds. I'm like, here, you're going to want ketchup on it, aren't you?
Absolutely not.
So gross, dude. I don't know how people do like blue rare. That is disgusting. If you're a blue rare person, you're weird.
I'll do rare. Blue, not
dude, so it's no different. What's the difference? It's both still living. Like you're drinking its blood. It's so weird, dude. Well done. Burn it a little bit on the outside. Dip it in some ketchup. We're good. Maybe some barbecue sauce, some HP. I'm not against that, but I do like the Heinz. The Heinz is my favorite kinds, and I like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah.
No, just hard no.
What can I say? I'm not a big steak guy. I'll eat it, but I truly don't. I don't know. Steak doesn't do it for me like a burger or something does. It just doesn't.
Yeah, I love my steak. I really do, but there's something about going to Five Guys or Fat Burger, getting a burger,
dude, or like a brisket smoked on the smoke or whatever.
Yep,
like that's my jam. That's my jam, right? Not raw, want it done.
Yeah, because I've had it on the brisket on the smoker for 12 hours.
Bingo.
So yeah, it's not
right.
It's good.
Slice her up, dip her in some ketchup. You know what I mean?
12 hours preparing this chunk of meat for you, and you just slather it in ketchup.
Well, yeah, I mean, dude, it just nothing lights off the flavor of meat like a little bit of ketchup. You know what I mean? You ever go to like for breakfast or something? You put ketchup on your eggs?
No.
Are you serious? Dude, you need to start living your life, dude. You know what? I'm taking you to Flavortown. Okay. I'm going to take you to Flavortown with breakfast and maybe some steak, and I'll actually cook it. And you're gonna experience some real fine flavors, my friend.
So I'm a hot sauce guy. Hot sauce is my ketchup.
See, here's the thing about hot sauce. Here's what I don't get. I like some of the flavors. Like, okay, so sriracha sauce, right?
Yep.
I do like the flavor of that. I do think it adds something to it, and it's not crazy spicy. What is the deal though with people who like like death sauce? Like there was one thing called death sauce, and it was like, oh, you know, it made from habaneros or whatever the peppers are, and it's like one teaspoon is blah blah blah. What is the enjoyment in eating that, dude? It's gonna hurt when you poop it out. You're gonna have ring of fire. It doesn't make it taste better. It just burns.
Totally. It's you just being tough. That's it. So I went that route.
So you're a hot sauce guy, but you're not.
I used to, not anymore. So I bought some of that ghost pepper garbage where you put like a pin's head on there and it would destroy you. And
what is the point of that?
So you can slowly build up your tolerance, and when your friends come over, be like, hey, I can eat hot sauce. And then you give them some because they think they can have as much as you, and then you watch them die. It's super funny because they'll go in the bathroom, they'll throw up.
That's brutal, dude.
I had one buddy come over, we're crushing tacos, and I'm like, oh, you want some hot sauce? Yeah, here you go. He's like, oh, I want what you've got. Like, no, you don't. And so I put a little bit on, and again, this is after I built up a tolerance.
Yeah.
So he put like a ridiculous amount on, trying to show me that he's a hot sauce guy.
Right.
And he ended up in the bathroom throwing up because he just couldn't hack it. And he put a ridiculous amount. That's something that took me a year to build myself up to.
Dude, that's just not even enjoyable. I've never understood the hot sauce thing. Or like the, you see the odd restaurant that has like the ghost wings or whatever. They have some weird term for some hot wings, right? Essentially. I'm more of like a dill pickle guy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Little DP.
Some DP.
That'd be so good, dude. I love me some dill pickle. Dill pickle?
Dill pickle.
Dill Dill pickle.
Just a mismatch of flavors.
Mismatch of flavors, that dill pickle and some ketchup on there. Oh, buddy, I'm such a redneck. This is why I don't go to fine establishments. I'm way too hillbilly and country for any of that.
Yeah.
I guess I don't fit in. I don't feel like I fit in there, and it's probably that's reasonable.
Oh yeah.
That's not
a safe assumption. They don't want you there.
Totally. Maybe it's because I show up in like rain boots and or overalls. You know what I mean?
You're all plaid.
Yeah, and a couple of work gloves in my back pocket. Yeah, I'm real Canadian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never understood the hot sauce thing, dude. It's never made sense to me. I like a little bit. So what is your favorite hot sauce then?
I like sriracha.
That's the one. That's your go-to?
Yeah.
It's good.
And not too spicy. You can legit put that on anything.
You can. I don't know that it makes everything taste good. Like, you put it on eggs? Weird. Do you put it on potatoes?
Yep.
Weird. Do you put it on bacon?
Yep.
Weird.
Sandwiches. Boom. Oh,
yeah, that's
dude,
okay on sandwiches.
I have a bacon recipe for you.
Oh, yeah?
So good. It's a candied bacon. So
bacon wrapped in bacon?
Oh, I should. Bacon on a pan, throw it in the oven, but put cayenne pepper and brown sugar.
Oh,
dude.
Maybe can we put some maple? I love maple stuff.
Yeah. So
real Canadian, eh?
Canadian, eh?
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, maple would work too, but you get the sweet, spicy, savory all in one go.
Listen to you, Chef Ricky. I'm going to get you a little hat.
I'm Pappy right here. Throw down the recipes.
I like it. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do that for sure. Huh?
After we go to Fat Burger tonight.
Yeah. You mean Five Guys?
Five Guys.
Fat Burger's not that good, I don't find.
What?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I've only had it one time, so maybe it just wasn't a good experience for whatever reason, but Five Guys is my go-to.
Gotcha.
That's my go-to, dude. Like the Cajun fries.
Oh,
get me like the cheeseburger, dude.
Yeah. If you're ever in the mood for chicken, the old chicken tendies, Fat Burger's so good.
I was gonna say, they have those at Five Guys?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Fat Burger.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Chicken tendies.
I
do like them. Them are good. Yeah. Put a little ketchup on them and.
Oh, that I get. Like half of the chicken tenders, the dip that comes with it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There was one, I had Popeye's chicken maybe 6 months ago or something. And it was, it's good chicken, but what I remember about it was they had it was like a butter ranch, I think it was.
Blackened ranch.
Dude.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit of heat in there. Oh.
Yeah, that was some good stuff. Yeah.
Or was it the buttermilk ranch?
Maybe it was buttermilk. Maybe it was the buttermilk one. Yeah. I remember it being really, really good.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, now I kind of want it again.
Let's go.
I feel like we've earned it. You know what I mean?
Well, you did. I just stared at corn all day yesterday.
You know what? So the 2-hour race, even with my heart rate peaking up to 190 beats per minute, 192, whatever it was, I still only burnt 1,000 calories.
Dude, I burned that getting off the couch.
Well, you need to.
That's it, eh?
That's it, dude. And it's because I waited. There were so many periods where my heart rate went right back down to resting just from sitting there waiting.
So, do you know roughly how much time you spent riding versus watching people ride? I'm
sure I could probably go back and figure out kind of a rough estimate. But honestly, dude, if I'm guessing, and it's probably somewhat ballpark, I would say I bet you I sat for at least 40 minutes total.
Jeez.
Of a 2-hour race.
Almost half your race.
Which is unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. I need to do better than that for sure.
Learning experience. We'll do it next year.
Yeah, totally. Next year will be a different story for sure. But yeah, man, that's the Redbull Outliers. What an amazing time. Again, I know I keep saying it, but I really am thankful for everyone that came by. And I can't wait for next year, dude.
I'm pumped. Let's go.
Let's go.
It's
gonna be wicked, dude.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. That's an hour and 13 minutes in. That's a longer one.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like we could keep chatting too, but
I know. I just want to keep going.
Do you think there's some watchers still going?
No.
It's just us now.
Yep. Just us.
We get to this point every podcast. We're like, do you think anyone's still watching? And we're like, nah, it's probably just us.
Totally.
Talking. Yeah.
Harry.
Dude, Harry made an appearance at the Outliers.
I didn't think he was going to make it, but clutch last minute. He shows up right before the pros.
And he took the cooler for a ride.
Oh, that was so sick.
Goes for a burn. I saw him taking some selfies with some people.
Yeah. What a popular dude.
Yeah, man. The Red Bull cameras were on Harry.
There were so many cameras on him.
Yeah, he made a lot of friends, dude.
And his wheelie skills, next level.
Yeah. He actually can wheelie that cooler pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like we're gonna have to drag Harry out to some more stuff.
Totally.
Hey?
Yeah, he was a hit.
I think that'd be wicked.
Only made a couple kids cry.
Yeah,
Most of
totally.
them liked high fives from him, but a couple little ones started bawling.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, they'll get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
we're
they'll
gonna-
be scarred for life. Who knows?
Either way, Harry's still around.
Oh, I wonder if they'll age up a little bit and come try and hunt Harry down
They might become squatchers.
for the childhood trauma that Harry caused them.
Yeah, dude. They could become. Maybe that's how people become squatchers.
Oh,
Gone
totally.
squatchers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. One bad experience with Harry at an Outliers event, and their entire life, their identity is dedicated to hunting Harry.
I like it.
Ooh.
Come get some. Harry's ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is he? Though? Is he?
Well, probably not. We'll have
train
to
him up a
protect him a
little
little bit. Yeah. Maybe we should show Harry how to shoot some guns.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean?
That get him in the gym, move.
Yeah, we should get Harry doing some workouts too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He can learn how to defend himself a little bit, poor little guy.
Oh, you could do a self-defense class.
Sign him up for some karate.
The ones where you just kick people in the nuts. Those ones.
The Rochambeau ones.
Dude, did you ever watch King of the Hill?
I have. Yeah, I have. With what's the main character's name again?
Hank Hill.
Hank Hill.
And Bobby was the
Bobby.
boy.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
I remember when he went.
Or no, Boomer. Boomers. That's the one. Is like, hey man,
Yes.
Boomsy. Oh, dude, he's my favorite.
Oh, there's this one episode where Bobby went to a woman's self-defense class, and I remember what he was taught was stop. That's my purse, and a kick to the crotch. So he showed his dad what he learned. He was like, stop. That's my purse. Kick right in the junk. Just that over and over again.
Wow.
So maybe Harry will pick that up.
He could probably do that.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
I think he could manage that probably.
Mm-hmm. He's got some big feet on him. Wouldn't get kicked
He's got
by
some
that.
reach for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, if anyone was at the Outliers, let me rephrase. Let me start over. If anyone's still listening or watching this, and you were at the Outliers and you saw Harry and you have a picture of him, tag iRide in your picture on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll share it, man. That'd be wicked. Get some pictures of Harry out there.
Yep. First person should win something, maybe.
Good thing. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? Maybe.
Water bottle and samples.
Yeah, I like that. We'll get you hooked up with the bottle and maybe one of our sample packs with a bunch of packets in them.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be wicked. Yeah, first one to tag Harry in some social media. We'll send you some stuff.
Go Harry.
We also are gonna have a new T-shirt on the way.
Up is up.
Up is up, dude. Yes, that's the new thing. Up is up. I couldn't believe how much those guys were laughing when I looked at them. Up is up, and I shrugged. And it literally, like, it's just what came to mind. And dude, it's like they're like, look at this idiot. Like,
What does he think he's doing?
He's basically bench pressing his dirt bike up the hill, going up is up. Like they're probably like, look at this complete monkey.
Oh, this caveman's on
Yeah,
this
totally.
race.
Like this guy has no idea what he's doing. He probably shouldn't be here, and he's like, up is up. You know, it was good entertainment.
Yeah.
All right, man. That's episode 12. Thanks everyone. If you're still listening or watching, we really appreciate it. And as always, head over to the Fit4Moto website. There's all kinds of stuff on there. There's a free fitness program, all that kind of stuff. And check out iRideSupplements.com.
Yeah, and come meet us at Five Guys for a burger right now.
Yeah, man. 100%. Hit us up.
Let's
We're going to
go.
go for a burger.
Yes.
Do you put ketchup on your fries?
No.
Dude, are you serious? You don't put ketchup on French fries? You're a weirdo. You know that?
I'll do ranch. I like ranch.
Okay, what? No one puts ranch. Okay, you know what the equivalent of that is? What you're doing right now? Dipping your fries in mayonnaise. That's
Ooh.
what that is. It's
No.
it's weird.
Hard
It's
no.
weird. Nobody out there gets French fries and doesn't want ketchup on them.
Except for the people who want ranch.
You don't put ranch on French fries, dude.
It's a dip. It's awesome.
It's not a dip. You put on everything. Ketchup is, however.
Dude, you can put ranch
Ketchup
on,
you put on everything.
ranch on everything. Pizza? Boom.
Fair enough. That's good.
They serve it with hot wings. Your dill pickle wings.
I do like that. I can't say you're wrong.
Yep.
That's pretty good. Fair enough. But no, fries, ketchup and fries. Ketchup and fries. Those two, that's like peanut butter and jam. Indisputable.
Vinegar if you're from
You know what? Let's take a toll. A toll? A poll. Let's take a poll.
Let's do a toll.
Let's do a toll. You now need to pay.
You must pay. If you're at this point of the podcast, you owe us money.
You owe us money.
Where's my money, man? Where's my money?
Yeah. If you've listened for this long, you actually owe us money. Let's take a poll. People comment on this. Or I guess DM us or whatever on Instagram if you're just listening.
I like the DMs.
Yeah, slide into the DMs. Leave a comment. Okay, French fries, ketchup, or ranch? Oh, let's put something on the line here. Let's put something on the line. So if there's more ketchup, I get something. If there's more ranch, you get some. Or we have to do something completely ridiculous.
Okay. Thinking. What is?
I like my odds here, dude. Ketchup is the odds-on favorite all day.
So good. Oh man, yeah, the ketchup's a classic.
Okay, here's the deal. Mm-hmm. If I win, you have to wear some kind of dress and hand out eyebrow samples at an event.
Okay. If I win your next race, you have to do on your bike backwards.
Deal. 100% deal. That's not even hard. Dude, I will start backwards just for shits and giggles.
Oh, your confidence is scary. Your ketchup's going to win for sure.
No, dude. No. Even if it doesn't, I'll 100% start backwards on the dirt bike because it would just be funny to watch. Mm-hmm. But I like my odds.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, dudes. Okay, people. Mm-hmm. Men, women, children, vote on this. Let's get Rick let's get Rick doing something outrageous here.
Yep.
Leave us a comment, DM us, whatever. Ketchup on the fries or ranch on the fries?
I'm going to create a whole bunch of fake accounts now.
You're going to make your own algorithm.
Do you have an algorithm, by the way?
I do. It likes things. Okay. Hit us up, man. That's episode 12. Thanks everybody.
For watching. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.